or correct his theology, but he did warn about a false prophet that was going to come along. In fact, he gave at least seven warnings that were relatively specific. So, the first warning: this person will be called least. Matthew 5:19, whoever therefore shall break one of these commands the least, and may teach men so, least he shall be called in the reign of heaven. And whoever may do and teach them, he shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say to you that if your righteousness may not abound above that of the scribes and Pharisees, you may not enter into the reign of heaven, into the kingdom of heaven. So, a lot of people quote this verse as far as we should still be keeping the law, keeping the Torah, but I haven't heard many people actually touch on it from this perspective, and that's to focus on this least. The man who teaches people to break these commands will be called least. And notice, just before we move on, that it doesn't say that he's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. It says that the people in the kingdom of heaven will call him least. So, any guess as to what Paul's name means in Latin?
I love this. Means the least.
It means the least. Right here, and this is from Strong's. Paul's name, Paulos, is of a Latin origin. And what it is, it's a contraction of the word Paxililis. And so it's the same way that you could have a name like Richard, and maybe you would shorten it to Rich or Dick or whatever. You do the same thing with Latin names. So Paul's full name was Paxililis. So if you saw his birth certificate, his Roman birth certificate, it would say Paxililis. But then he would go by Paulos. And Paxililis means least. It's the double demonstrative form of the word Pacus, which means little. And so the double demonstrative turns it into a superlative tense. And the superlative tense is the same as for us to be the least.
Mm-hmm. Josephus actually calls Paul Paulus as well in his writing.
And Paul actually even refers to this in 1 Corinthians 15:9. He says, I was not the least of the apostles. And he says that because of his name, meaning of his name. And in this Jameson Fawcett Brown Bible commentary, it says that, plain as day, that Paulus in Latin means least. Yeah, so I mean, Yeshua went as far as essentially calling him out by name.